A one, a two, a 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello, hello everybody, how we all doing? Welcome on in. Hello, hello. The sun is just shining on us today. Welcome on in everybody, my name's Sheshire, the Devil's Not So Funny Jester, and we're back. Now, isn't it crazy? Everything's already set up and ready to go. My iPad's already set up. We'll turn that screen sharing on. We'll get right into it. Just doing some drawing today. No, I'm sorry it's been a while, but we're here for a good time, long time, probably a couple hours today. We'll just keep working on the old piece. I want to aim to get it done at some point this week, so I'm going to be doing a little bit more. I'm either going to stream early tomorrow morning as well, or it's going to be later on in the day, but I want to start working on stuff more and more and more, so you're going to see a lot more of me starting soon. Okay, now. We're going to set up, there we go, the Android cast. I'm going to share my screen, we'll just get right into drawing. I'm not going to waste your time, not going to waste my time. Also, let me know if the music's too loud. It was a little bit loud on my end, but I think that's just because I blasted the volume. You know what, let me change that real fast. Perfect, okay. And now we'll start the screen sharing. Also, what did we think of this little guy? I remember I made a stinger way back in the day, and technically I ended up not using it because I don't really have that many different scenes, but I can still use it. I need to change it because the background is not see-through and it's a little bit dated, but I still thought it was fun. Figured might as well use it. Okay, now then, let me switch back. I will pop over the screen sharing, then we'll start the drawing bit. Okay, I'm hiding, you don't see me. Okay, 296, 166, 3, 2, 1. Excelente. And we're back, you ready? Ta-da! Okay, let's get right into it. So we left off, we had Miss Lana Lazar, and Mr. Monarch in this case. Now I did a tiny bit of work, I mean nothing crazy, just added some like jewelry bits and pieces. Let me zoom in so y'all can see. Jinx, how's it going? Welcome on and welcome, welcome. Hopefully you're doing well today. I was gonna say, I know technically this isn't my usual time, but I'm happy to have you. Sort of been experimenting with that recently. Okay, where last we left off, we had Lana like this. Now, I'm debating what I'm gonna do, but we want to clean up the lines today, add a little bit more detail. I want to get as close to I can to finish the sketch so we can start coloring over the weekend and then finish that. So the next step really is either I can finish the hair, I have other headpieces and stuff I was doing, and then we have really just like this bit in the middle, which is technically supposed to be a ribcage. So we could do that today. Or we could work on Mr. Monarch here. But I'm thinking we just finish Lana, we do one thing at a time, we get that done with, and then we move on to the next thing, right? Rather than going back and forth and being confused. So it's probably, yeah. You know, let's do this. Let me pull up her reference image, which I had. Either we do the ribcage bit, or we do the hair bit, or we do both today, but we're gonna try and see. I'm here for a while anyways, so let's get right into it. Also, I think it was only like 2 to 3 minutes. It's like a new world record for starting. Also here, you know what, I can, not that one, but I can do this here and get the chat turned on. There we go. I might just kind of move that off screen ever so slightly. Perfect. And let's get right into it. So we're going to pull up this reference here where we had the picture. I think that I put a ribcage in there, definitely. because I knew I was smart and I thought ahead, and I remembered I needed a rib cage, so we went and got one. This is going to be a little anatomy lesson. So you see here, class, I've decided that from probably the third or fourth vertebrae, roughly at the angle of the sternum, and then all the way down to the floating ribs, and the floating rib will be shown, and then I've debated if we're going to show the costal cartilage, or if it would be snapped, because I'm having this thing where essentially like there's going to be a sword being drawn from a body. We'll add like fire and stuff too. It's weird. Don't ask questions, I'm a little funky. But I don't necessarily think you can do that if the cartilage is showing, so we might have to get rid of the cartilage. We'll see how it works though. We'll just leave that there. Ribcage. We'll get into it. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, so if we had... Okay, just judging by myself, I'm like grabbing my own ribs right now, trying to feel. Doesn't help that I'm in a cat body. 1 second, let me... Okay, so where we are now, her ribs would be somewhere like here. Our sternum would probably end somewhere around there. I'm essentially gonna have like a hollowed, almost charred edge to it here, and then we can have its like its fire and stuff coming out later. Also, I should also mention, if anyone of you aren't a fan of the music or want to see something different, just let me know, and I can always, you know, pop a different song. Just give me some recommendations of, usually it's lo-fi or copyright-free stuff, and I'll take a look, within reason. Some of the stuff's been a little bit unhinged before, but that's why I look into it on my own time and not on stream, so I don't get myself banned. Okay, we can probably have like a char bit here, and then the rest of the dress kind of goes back. Just kind of erase this bottom bit here, near the torso. We'll get a little bit of a bigger eraser. I don't need to be too crazy precise with it, but I'm being difficult. Okay. Now I'm debated if I pull this up even further, like I pull the top part up, because it really depends on how much of the rib is showing. So if we got sternum from... 1 second, let me turn this off. Does it really add that much? Yeah, it does. It's interesting having that texture in the background. So if I go up like this, and we have, you know, her rough body like that. Collarbone is somewhere here. Sternum. We're doing a little bit of an anatomy lesson today, that's okay. So we got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Something like that, so maybe I can just kind of shimmy this on up a little bit. Something like that. Okay. So from here, we will continue with the little ribcage. So we'd have something, something like this little bit here. I can erase that. I need to change this. It's very, very messy. It's okay. It's a sketch, but I need to polish it, so just trust the process. I say more so to myself than to you guys, but that's okay. It'll all work out in the end. Okay, so perfect. We move on like so. And it's probably really just focus on the main part that's going to be exposed, which makes me kind of want to bring this burnt piece up just a little bit more. Like really just grab this and drag it. No, uniform. Pull it up like so. Because I really want to have like a decent amount of ribcage showing. Because I think it's cool. That's like the main, it's going to be like pop in the piece. I know I sound like a psychopath, but that's okay. We need her ribcage to be exposed. So then if we go back to this bit, there we go, it's like an extra rib. Which I actually think we need to warp just a little bit more again. Ow, I dropped something on myself, god damn it. Because yeah, her chest is being a little strange. Don't mind me as I jiggle her ribcage around, it's okay. So we'll go, like so. Because we also, we're going to have the ribs coming on the other side basically, which is, I was going to say, unless we want to keep the cartilage, or we have like damaged bits of cartilage. But, I don't know. Because there'll also be some coming out here. Which I think maybe might need to be its own layer. So yeah, we'll just do one at a time. And then we can figure out from there what else is going to be added. So we'll have a little rib peeking out like here. Just one of the smaller ones there. What are they called? Yeah, the floating ribs. These ones are flying, obviously. Perfecto. Okay. Now, technically, I could zoom in and draw like really small lines and stuff, but I feel like that's something to do later, not right now. I think I could do that. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So then we're gonna go and we're gonna add another rib. Something like so. There we are. I guess we'll just keep doing the lines there. I mean, I don't need to worry too much about erasing, because I can kind of do that once we're closer to finish, and we get to merge to the other layer. That's when you really need to worry about the way things line up, but for now we'll just draw the ribs. And we'll just continue making the rib cage. I don't know what this one is. Because the vertebrae is different. You have the like cervical, thoracic, lumbar, sacral. But I don't think rib cages are divided into the different regions, as far as I'm aware. Okay, sorry, I was just kind of counting the rib cages right now to figure out if I had the right ones or not, because I think this bottom one here is still going to be a floating rib cage. Like that one can remain floating rib, sorry, not floating rib cage. That one can remain something like this, smaller, kind of pointed a little bit out, flared even. And then the rest of them are going to have to bend a little bit more. There we go. Continuing from there. Another rib down. That was always an interesting food for me too, growing up, was like having ribs. Because technically, wouldn't they look basically the exact same as ours? Like if you were to have a plate of ribs, and it was, you know, like a human plate of ribs, would you be able to tell the difference? My mind is very weird, I know. Because I feel like I would not be able to tell the difference between a human plate of ribs and something like beef. Or even pork ribs or anything else. Because even between like a beef and a pork rib, I can't usually tell the difference. I might just be stupid. Like it could just be that I'm a little slow. Because I think for the most part, really the shape just kind of depends, but if they're in smaller pieces, you can't see the whole shape of the animal. Like, I'm not that stupid. If I saw a massive ribcage, I'd be able to tell the difference between that of humans or a much smaller one, but, I mean, on a plate, it's all the same thing. I think. The only thing I might need to change is like the arch, the angle. Okay, and then we can add one here. Is that one still showing? Yes, it would be. I don't know if we wanted to push them out a little bit more, maybe have them be like push up, split. Maybe. Maybe I'm just being a little bit of a weirdo. Ignore me. So I was thinking, if we exaggerate the ribs, maybe that'll... You know what, maybe I stretch the ribs. Screw it. Smush that. Pop this out. So then that way, this will be much more visually apparent when we merge it, because the ribs will be much larger, they're much easier to see. I mean, like the whole thing I say all the time is go big or go home, and then I never commit to it, so I think I might as well actually do it for a change. I'm going to do something here. We're going to do a little edit, and I'm going to warp this bit here by the neck. This whole area needs to be stretched a little bit, because right now it is kind of pushing her ribcage in, and it's making this much more difficult to draw the rest of it. Right? Like, see, it's so much better. Just drag a little bit more, because yeah, there was no way I was going to continue to draw the shape on her because it was just not going to work anatomically beforehand. So if I do this, I can probably push the rib cage ever so slightly more. Which is what I'm thinking. Right, so if we have a rib cage like so, I'm just gonna, we're winging it. The anatomy is gonna be a little bit different, but that's okay. It's fine, she's not human anyways. That's just gonna be our little excuse. Drag that back down a little bit. Okay, perfect. Now maybe I rotate them out more, because maybe they're a little bit too rotated in right now. So we'll do something like that. Something like this. And then the floating ribs are down here, but we'll deal with those in a moment. There you go. Floating ribs, all that jazz. There we are. Let's try to do that. Okay. So from there, I'm just going to pretend to draw the lines. We'll erase them afterwards, but this is so I can kind of figure out just exactly what I'm doing. And if this doesn't work in a minute, I will just move on. But it's working, it's working, it's working. I just trust the process. Right, so from there to there, we would technically have a ribcage like so. And then we would have our little bit up here. Okay. Switching just a little bit back and forth. I mean, I can add another floating rib down here, that's not the issue. If it even shows up. No, that wouldn't even show up, so it's fine. Okay, so maybe I have it set the other end of the ribs kind of sticking out to make a protrusion. Like that. And then I can just kind of figure out where it's positioned, because I think definitely, maybe the sword is going to be in front of the sternum. It's probably wise. But also now it's kind of a matter of, are we doing the cartilage too? Because technically it should kind of be broken. You know, I might erase some of it. And then leave another bit, I don't know. Like so. Just continue, erase that. Unless I draw it even more forward. Like I draw this, wait 1 second, I gotta undo some of this then. Sorry. Okay, well, that's fine. I will draw even more of this forward and we're gonna make this ribcage even more prominent. That's fine. Now is the hand, is the sword going to be coming from front or behind? Maybe the sword's going to be behind it, we'll do that. Sword is coming from behind it, and then I will zoom in and we'll erase this tiny bit here above the sternum. I can zoom in and get these tiny little details here. And now I will erase it like so. Okay, it's just another tricky thing because you got to keep the perspective in mind because the rib cage, the little bits and pieces on the ribs are going to get a little bit closer as we approach. Which is okay, we'll do something like that, bend it a little bit. Whereas these ones technically get larger as they're further away. And then they kind of shrink as they go in. Right, and then the ribs would all be coming from somewhere. The spine is back here. Unfortunate thing though is that we're not probably gonna get to that. Unless I have the side profile of the dress ripped up a little bit too. Which, I mean, technically I could do. I still have like a curvature to it. So if the spine is somewhere here, these all bow out like so. Perfect. Make it a little bit smaller maybe. I mean, it's a large enough rib as is, but a little bit smaller. Perfection. There we are. It's okay. I promise this will look much nicer in the final product. We just have to really pray. Trust the process. I keep saying that. There we are. And then we can have our little floating rib out here, which is fine. It barely shows anyways. And then just a little bit larger at that edge too. Okay. Okay, maybe that's how we do it too, because technically they would kind of be curving in front of each other as they loop up. Okay. There we go. Maybe I can have one rib intact still, and the other ones are kind of busted as they get closer. Because if we want to make room for the sword, we can't have all the ribs be functioning, so that has to be broken. Alright, broken there. Continue, these bottom ones also probably have to be broken too. We'll just... Just trying to keep the shape in mind too. Like that, and also like that. Perfection. And that little bit there. Okay, there we go. It's finally starting to kind of look like ribs. It only took God knows how long, but we're getting there. There we are. Technically it would be a little bit lower, I'm putting it way too high. I can have a second one up there though. And there we are. So then now, if I wanted to merge them down just a little bit, and go here, and just erase this stuff to make room. Now debating, how am I going to do, like, organs and all that jazz? Because I think that'll probably be interesting. Kind of 50-50, because I'm going to add flames and all that sort of thing, so I'm debating if I add guts too, or if that'll be too much. Now we can just add the bits of the dress on the bottom here to repair them, little bits and pieces. And there we are. And I can erase this little tiny bit here. No, I can actually, well, I can maybe merge down now. Okay, yeah, something like that. That works out fine. We're gonna have to clean up the ribcage anyways, but... Also, I think technically I rounded these so that they all have a similar curve, and it looks like they're gonna go into each other, but in real life they actually don't. It's much more like each of their own individual arc, so I don't know if that's okay, but I'm sure no one is noticing. I'm very much overthinking that. Okay, now we have the sword planted like that, which is fine. It's not gonna go all the way in anyways. There's gonna be like some flames and stuff. Maybe I can continue it, but it really doesn't need to go all that far. Something like that. There we are. Okay, and then this bit here. So I'm trying to figure this out. Okay, so these two ribs right here, this one and this one, those ones are technically connected here, which means the one above it is going to be the complete one, which is number 5. There we are. I mean, technically it only goes out a little bit, and then this rest of this bit is bone. There we go. Then we can get the little tiny eraser out and start to shape it. This is all bone here. That's going to be cartilage. There we are. Okay, and we'll continue to erase it. We'll just kind of fix this up. I don't want to spend too much time on the ribcage because I can kind of continue and polish all day, but we need to get the base done, and then I can focus more on these tiny little details. Right. Technically, yeah, I would continue like so. Just erase that. And there we are. Okay, now I'm just going to leave this for a second. I'm going to drink some water. Also make sure that the stream hasn't crashed and everything else is alive, because you never know. Unfortunately, you never know. So I think, yeah, purple side is good. Just making sure we're all alive there. Yes, we are. Great. Perfect. We are, in fact, alive there. Everyone's alive. Okay. Is red stream okay? Red site? It's loading. Perfect. Grand. Everyone's great. Green site? Green site is also okay. Cytoman, yes, I'm back. I'm alive. How you doing? Welcome on in. Welcome, welcome. Okay, let me pop this video back on. Why did it turn off? There we go. Yeah, just back doing some art, some drawings. Figure we continue where we last left off. Just working on some Lena Lazar and Monarch drawings today, where we're having them. It's more of an actual sketch. I did some outfits last time, which actually, let me pull up. Right, we have this right now. We're just working on it. Right, there's her. She's gonna be impaled. There's gonna be like flames going out of the ribcage, summoning the sword. It's gonna be a little bit complicated, but that's okay. Just stick with me. Also, God, my VTube studio is snapping. Grim, focus. Standing in like a big bloody hand, and we're gonna have a bunch of blue butterflies and all that sort of thing swirling around them. So, right, let me pull out. This was a little reference here. So we have a ribcage because I'm gonna need help drawing that. We started already. Then there's Lena Lazar. Some other references. That's her, right? If anybody doesn't know Lena, horror VTuber, she's incredible. Go check her out. And then we had designed kind of this outfit. It's really, really rough, so just bear in mind for the sketch. But we, a couple streams ago, designed this outfit here, which is almost sort of like a bloody-looking dress. So these jewels around her neck here are all going to be like bright red. Big black dress here, and then it's going to be open, so the front of it doesn't matter too much because it's all ribcage anyways. But you know, and then her hair tied up. And then for Monarch. Hey Boutero, bonsoir, ça va? Ça fait plaisir de vous avoir aujourd'hui. Alrighty, and then Monarch. There we go, Monarch. Anybody who doesn't know Monarch, check her out as well. So I'm doing a male Monarch version, because, you know, normally Monarch is a woman. This is what Monarch, Amelie, love her music, check her out as well. La musique d'Amélie. But instead we're doing like a male version. So there's 4 different references here, and then I kind of combine them into one different outfit. Donc j'ai pris les 4 différents, je veux dire les 4 différentes versions de Monarch qui sont un homme ou une femme. Et puis on va créer un petit ici. There we go. Sorry, this little outfit here that I made for her instead as a guy. Something like that we're going to do instead. Donc, ceci c'est l'homme, c'est la version mâle de Monarch. Bonsoir, ça va? Je cherchais un live qui avait pas beaucoup de personnes en or et je suis tombé sur le tien et tu es en anglais. Non, non, ça va, ça fait plaisir. Je parle pas souvent le français, ça fait, je dirais, comme quelques mois depuis que j'ai pratiqué énormément. J'ai un peu de famille française, mais ça fait plaisir de vous avoir aujourd'hui avec nous. Puis, on va juste dessiner, je serai là pendant quelques heures et ça fait plaisir. Donc, prends un boisson, puis quelque chose à manger à soi, ou si t'as besoin de travailler, ça va? Et puis juste d'écouter ma voix intéressante. Je suis un peu fou, mais ça va. Un peu fou. Just un petit peu. So yeah, we're here today. We're going to continue drawing this, and then go with there. So we have male Monarch. I didn't fully finish drawing him, but we'll maybe do that after Lena. I've decided we're going to focus on Lena first, and then we'll do Male Monarch. Hey Butoro, merci beaucoup, ça fait... Je suis absolument joyeux de vous avoir, puis merci de me suivre. Oui, je suis canadien, donc canadien francophone. Je parle un peu de français avec la famille, mais je ne pratique pas souvent, donc ça va être un bon changement d'avoir quelqu'un. But yeah, welcome on in, welcome out. Hopefully everybody else is doing alright. I have the chat up for Twitch and YouTube right now. I have the links anywhere else, but Kick I also have live streaming, but we're not going to have any messages from Kick because I don't necessarily know how that works. Especially because they're not as restrictive with their language for the mods. Okay. Qu'est-ce que je faisais? Oh wait. Right, I was doing this reference, référence ici. Da, 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 da. Perso de mon côté, je suis vers exposé. Oh, intéressant. Okay. No, qu'est-ce que je fais? I mean, I could we continue with the hair. Maybe this bit here. Something like that. Or we can continue with the feet, like the legs and the dress. But I think we might do the hair. Ok, on continue ici. Je vais faire les cheveux. And also let me know if the music is too loud or good or not, or anybody has any other recommendations for copyright-free lo-fi music, let me know as well. Fais-moi savoir... Oh. Ce sont tes personnages que tu dessines? Non, non, ce sont des autres VTubers. Amalie, Monarch, elle fait de la musique sur YouTube, mais elle a aussi un VTuber de papillon. Puis Lena Lazare, qui est quelqu'un qui fait beaucoup d'horreur. Donc celui-ci, c'est Lena, elle fait des vidéos pour genre des jeux vidéo qui sont épeurants. Mais je les adore. Et puis, right. Yeah, so Lena Lazare, horror VTuber. If you guys don't know her, check her out. And then Monarch, who is... Let me find it. Laisse-moi le trouver. Voilà. And that's Monarch. But instead, I'm doing a male version. Donc, j'ai décidé de faire la version mâle, puisqu'il y a, Monarch a quelques dessins qu'elle a fait ou qui ont une version mâle au lieu. Donc, je pense que ça serait intéressant. Right, so we're doing the male version instead, something like that. Okay. Continuing, we'll do this little hair piece. Donc ouais, ce sont pas mes personnages, mais ce sont des habits, des vêtements que j'ai créés moi-même. Right, so I've made some custom outfits. Okay, something like that. Just a little jewel here on her forehead shaped like an eye. There we go. Un petit bijouterie qui regarde comme un œil. Yeah, that's like big red jewel. Okay. I have like absolutely no idea what this is supposed to look like, but it just just kind of made some random shapes and put an eye in the center, and then added like a little syringe on it. Ouais. Comme je disais, j'ai aucune idée qu'est-ce que ce petit morceau dans le cheveu est supposé d'être, mais j'ai juste copié l'œil qui est sur le cou. Et puis j'ai mis juste un petit bijouterie rouge, donc on verra. We're just gonna have to trust the process, see what happens at the end. Okay, so from here, I guess, big red crystals, something like that. I think I'll probably just have, yeah, like a bunch of crystal shards kind of sticking out, drawing out of it. I'm almost debating if I want to make it look like somebody's crying, kind of, but I feel like that would maybe be a little weird. Comme si je mets juste un petit peu sur l'œil, ça peut-être va avoir l'air comme si ça pleure. Ou je suis fou, mais peut-être. On va l'essayer. Right, and then we'll have more crystal bits falling down like so. Just continue from there. Going down, another jewel, and then just keep working that. Okay. On continue avec un autre, des petits bijouteries. Some more crystals sticking out on this end as well. Something like this. Okay, we'll continue like that. Then the only other thing would be like this tube here, which is supposed to be like blood and stuff, that sort of thing, but we'll do that in a moment. Ok, après que je finis avec ajouter des petits cristaux rouges, j'ai besoin de faire le petit tuyau médical qui va avoir un peu de sang là-dedans. There we go. It's okay, we'll worry about shading everything else later. That's when we can make it look like crystals and add texture, because right now all we really need to do is just make sure that the outline is there. Ok. J'ai besoin de souvenirs, regarder à l'image en gros, peut-être juste un petit zoom. Souvent, je regarde jamais à l'entier. Okay. So those two bits are done. I don't think we need to add much more else there, but I can have like a little kind of leak here. Just a little bit of blood kind of pouring out. Down, down, down. Okay. I'll add another shard like that. Un autre morceau. Perfect. Okay, hopefully that works fine. The perspective is interesting. I need to remember that these are on an angle. Je peux pas oublier que celui en bas, ça va être beaucoup plus proche à l'avant, donc j'ai besoin de l'élargir. Puis celui-là en haut, j'ai besoin de le mettre un petit peu plus petit. Juste pour que ça continue avec la perspective. Okay, like that. There we go, hopefully. Yes, maybe. And then we can add like a little tube at the end. Just some tubing. Si je comprends vraiment pas quand tu parles anglais, j'ai beau prendre en cours depuis tellement d'années que je comprends vraiment pas ou pas tout. Désolé, je parle, mais quand même, je parle vraiment vite, même pour les personnes qui parlent anglais. Ben, je suis canadien, donc c'est ma première langue, français c'est ma deuxième. Dépendamment, je vais essayer de me répéter, mais si c'est juste un petit commentaire ici puis là, tu manques pas grand chose. Désolé. Alrighty, continue like this. Mais vraiment, j'adore ce que tu fais, genre, oh merci beaucoup, je vous apprécie. Dans le moment, je faisais des vidéos ici puis là, mais pas trop souvent, donc ce temps d'année, j'ai beaucoup plus de temps libre, donc je vais essayer de venir autant que possible. But yeah, we finally got some chance to stream again, so we'll continue as much as possible. Aujourd'hui, je vais essayer de probablement une autre heure ou deux, mais demain matin, je crois. Si toi, je crois en Europe, ça devrait être, ben, très tôt le matin ou tard le soir. Pour moi, c'est comme 5 heures, 5-6 heures. Okay, we'll just continue with this little pipe like this here. Je viens te follow sur Insta. Oh, merci beaucoup, je vous apprécie. Insta, c'est un peu une combinaison. Sur YouTube et TikTok, ils sont un peu plus grands. Je poste un peu plus souvent, puis j'ai beaucoup plus d'or. Mais Insta, c'est une combinaison de or et de petits clips ici puis là. Merci. But yeah, okay, we're gonna continue with this little bit here, like a blood tube or something from like injections. We're gonna go like that, and then I want it to kind of loop down and then hang behind the head. Et aussi, ne subis jamais de la pression de me suivre partout. Je vous apprécie ici, juste sur sur Twitch. Sois jamais sous pression de me suivre ou de faire d'autres choses. Juste être ici aujourd'hui, n'importe quand, c'est assez pour moi. C'est marrant, tu dis vous à chaque fois. Je t'ai enseigné de jamais tutoyer quelqu'un, donc j'essaie, mais si ça t'énerve, je peux te tutoyer au lieu. Alrighty. How are we doing, chat? Everybody else still hanging in there? Having fun? On this fine, what is it, Wednesday? I lose track of time. Okay, no blood pooling somewhere like that. Okay, a little loop-de-loop. Okay, just continue this little bit here. Also, for those who don't speak French or speak one or the other, I'll kind of switch back and forth, but just hang in there. I'll answer any questions you have either way, though. Don't you worry. I haven't forgotten about you. Chez nous, quand tu dis vous, c'est que, en gros, que je suis plus vieux que toi. Non. Ok, désolé. Ben, je dirais c'est similaire. Ben, quand j'étais enfant, on disait vous à tout le monde, mais beaucoup de personnes commençaient à utiliser le dessus. Même les personnes qui étaient plus jeunes que moi, j'utilisais vous. C'est juste, j'essaie de être respectueux autant que possible. Puis peut-être être plus vieux que moi, c'est une possibilité. Je suis pas mal jeune. Je dirais que je suis comme spirituellement, je suis probablement 90. Mais en réalité, je suis jeune. Je suis un petit bouffon qui a été renvoyé à l'enfer. Donc, je suis pas vraiment âgé, mais je suis pris à l'enfer pendant peut-être des centaines d'années. C'est marrant comment ça change dans les pays. T'es dans le 30... Non. Beaucoup moins que ça. Alrighty, so we're just going to continue with this little tube here. I'm debating if I want to add blood inside of it or leave it clear, but I feel like having a little bit of blood will be interesting. T'as plus de 25 ans? Peut-être que non. C'est une possibilité. Okay. Clean this up. I feel like I'm focusing too much on this. Erase that. This little line here. Clear it. Down, down. Get the little tube there, and then it will loop probably somewhere down here, I think. Yeah. Somewhere like so. Je vais me sentir vieux alors. Non, ok. Je suis désolé. Non, non, ça va. Pas du tout. Juste imagine que je suis quelques centaines d'années. Je le dis aussi à ma petite sœur, je le dis à tout le monde. Ben techniquement, je suis aussi dans le corps d'un chat, donc les années multipliées par 7, donc techniquement je suis beaucoup plus vieux. It's okay. There, we'll continue. We'll just keep doing this little tube bit here. Tu veux voir 25 dans quelques jours? Oh, le temps s'écroule vite, mais non, non, ça va. C'est jeune, tout le monde, même dans la vingtaine, dit encore quelque chose comme 25, c'est très jeune encore. T'as plein de temps. So we'll just continue from here, this little feeding tube bit. I don't want to add too many details because it'll get a little bit messy. Okay, maybe this needs to be just regular tubing. Like so. Okay, something like that. You have a black cat too. J'ai un choix noir aussi. Ouais, j'avais toujours, même depuis ma enfance, j'avais toujours un chat noir. Il y a 13 ans déjà? Oh wow. Ouais, j'avais 3 quand j'étais très jeune, mais seulement l'une. Elle était 17, 18 ans. Maintenant, je l'ai plus. Elle a décidé ça fait quelques années, mais j'ai toujours au moins un chat. Pas noir, mais quand même. You got a dog. But I'm always, yeah, sorry, I was just saying. Technically, because I am a cat, I am much older if we count it in cat years. So though I may be young, I am technically also still spiritually 87. Anybody in chat also a cat person? Cat or dog? I love them both. Moi, j'avais un chien à ma naissance. Oh, ok, ouais. Moi aussi, j'avais des chiens. Beaucoup de chats, beaucoup de chiens. Je suis quelqu'un qui aime vraiment les animaux. Mais spécifiquement les huskies ou les chiens qui ont l'air comme des loups. Des gros chiens avec beaucoup de fourrure. Okay. Also, for those in chat and YouTube everywhere else, anybody have like a favorite type of cat or dog? Favorite type of pet in general? I know there's Mr. Terrios here, somebody else who had like fish and that sort of thing, snakes even, but or birds, was it? Not really a fan, I'm much more of a cat and dog person. Le mien c'est un braque allemand croisé setter. Ok. Il a vécu 16 et demi. Wow, c'est beaucoup ça. Ce sont des animaux très intelligents, ces deux. Okay, then we'll continue with this hair bit there. We got basically the pipes done, then I can add some like blood rushing through afterwards. Ok, je continue avec les tuyaux. Ah, j'ai aussi besoin de mettre 2 dans les cheveux croisés ici. Les petits tuyaux de sang. Okay, so I have 2 up here that I need to do as well. I'll have something like this. Au cas où si je parle... Non, ça va. Même dans mes règles sur Twitch puis les autres sites web YouTube, j'ai toujours écrit ici, je fais de l'art, tu peux le traiter comme si c'était un QA ou juste question-réplique. J'ai jamais de problème de parler avec les autres. Right, like, also anybody feel free to ask questions or answer whatever you want to know. I'm always happy to help, especially during an art stream. Everything is basically just a Q&A. That's what I say to treat them like. Ben oui, non, ça va. Ne sois jamais désolé pour parler. Je suis toujours content de répondre aux questions ou de faire des impôts, quoi. Ouais. Puis aussi, laisse-moi savoir, souvent je fais des dessins au sujet d'animés, puis des vêtements, choses comme ça. Si tu as un style tu veux voir, ou si tu as des autres VTubers tu peux me voir dessiner ou des animés, comme je vais commencer cette année à faire des vidéos sur YouTube XYZ personnes dans le style de cet animé. Donc, par exemple, du Bleach ou Fate, choses comme ça, j'ai commencé déjà. Donc, si tu as des recommandations, laisse-moi savoir. Alrighty. I need to start with this hair. I'm procrastinating. We finally need to get on with it. I feel like, yeah. Des recommandations d'animé ou de choses de ce genre, si tu veux que je le dessine. Je vais commencer à faire des vidéos de personnes dans cet style d'animé ou choses de ce genre. Ou même des styles de vêtements, comme j'adore des vêtements militaires. Je fais des dessins souvent sur vendredi ou lundi, style militaire. Mais c'est juste des autres choses comme ça. Si tu as quelque chose que tu veux voir, laisse-moi savoir. Alrighty. So this little bit here, I'm gonna have like something like that. I feel like, yeah. Witch Hat Atelier. T'as vu Atelier des sorciers? Non, j'ai entendu quelque chose, je crois. Ça sorti cette année ou c'est plus vieux que ça? Oh ouais, ok, ouais, c'est nouveau. Non, j'ai pas vu. Anybody else seen Witch Hat Atelier? Oh, gotcha, Akuta, yeah. Yeah, same thing. Anybody else? Any anime conditions, outfits you want to see me draw, let me know. Oh, ok. Gachiakuta, je connais aussi. C'est drôle puisque je connaissais ça fait quelques années. Même pas puisque je le regardais ou lisais le manga, mais Mori Calliope, qui est un autre vtuber, elle faisait la musique pour Gachiakuta, puis c'était sur une vidéo dans laquelle Mori parlait de le manga que je l'ai découvert. J'ai pas regardé, mais j'adore le style. Le mangaka travaille sur Soul Eater, je connais ça. Ben ouais, l'art c'est incroyable. L'une de mes chums, il essaie de me convaincre de le regarder avec lui. J'avais pas beaucoup de temps libre, mais si toi aussi tu me dis de le regarder, ben, j'ai pas de choix maintenant. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna check out Gachiakuta. I think there's some other shows I need to check out too. I finally have free time, and a friend of mine's also gonna make me watch Jujutsu Kaisen with him. MDR? Je crois pas que je le connais. Ça veut dire quoi, MDR? Oh, je suis un peu lent. Désolé, pardonnez-moi, je suis un peu stupide. Alrighty. I don't get memes ever or references. I think I'm a little old spiritually. Je dis la même chose en anglais. Je connais ou je comprends jamais pas le meme ou le petit raccourci. Même si je suis jeune, ça paraît comme si je suis quelqu'un dans ce... non, pas 40 ans, je dirais comme 70 ans. J'ai l'air comme quelqu'un de très vieux. Ok, PTDR, pété de rire, ça je connais. Ça je fais longtemps depuis que j'ai parlé au moins souvent avec quelqu'un en français, donc les expressions ça me dépasse. There we go, we'll just continue with this other tube. J'avance pas sur mon exposé. Ok. C'est peut-être ma faute. Tu peux te plaindre de moi si tu veux. Je suis en train de te distraire. Maintenant, j'ai besoin de te motiver. Travaille fort. Vas-y. Travaille l'exposé. Dun, 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 dun. I think I'm being a little distracting today, huh? Après que ton chat me fixe droit dans les yeux comme ça. Ouais. Attention, l'appli est en train de mourir. Il est en train de glitcher, lui. Is it working now? Wait. Ok, tu l'as mentionné, puis maintenant la pluie est en train de mourir. Voilà, ok. Ouais, mon chat Grim était en... Grim. Clignote. 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 That's an interesting idea, drawing OCs. Honestly. Je voudrais trop le voir dessiner un de mes OC, j'ai vraiment tenté le... Oh, merci beaucoup. Vraiment, ok. Ouais, OC, ok. OC, je comprends, je suis pas absolument stupide, mais je suis un petit peu. Ouais, je définitivement serais ouvert à le faire. Si tu m'envoies l'image quelconque ou fait quelque chose de ce genre sur un de mes médias sociaux, peut-être je pourrais faire comme un short sur TikTok et YouTube avec, ou si je peux le stream, ça serait intéressant de dessiner des aussi de mes viewers. Interesting. Would that be a thing anybody else wanted to see? Drawing like OCs and submitted characters? It's okay, I'm just a little stupid. I'm a little crazy and a little stupid. Non, non, ça va, je suis jamais offusqué, c'est un fait. Mais toi, t'as des personnages, des histoires, etc. Ouais, je dirais, pas nécessairement aujourd'hui, mais j'ai travaillé sur d'autres personnages. J'essaie de publier un série sur Webtoons ou un manga de moi-même, donc je travaille un petit peu ici puis là. J'ai peut-être des autres images avec, je peux te montrer, mais souvent je fais des dessins d'autres personnes. I was gonna say, yeah, this is also a fun little recap for anybody who hasn't seen some other original characters that I've been doing more recently, so we'll go through them. Ben, tu veux savoir le lore du manga ou Moi... Mon lore, c'est pas très compliqué. Moi, en tant que vtuber, je suis juste un bouffon qui a fait un petit deal avec le diable, puis maintenant je suis à l'enfer. Mais mon manga... Tiens... Sont pas terminés. Beaucoup, c'est sur papier, c'est pas nécessairement... Alrighty, so for those who don't know, I had a couple of original characters and stuff that we're working on, so this is maybe a little bit of a sneak peek, but we had something like this. Je vais être ton bouffon, le bouffon du bouffon. Ah ouais? Ben techniquement, je suis juste un bouffon en apparence. Vraiment, je suis juste un servant. Ah non, j'oublie le mot. Je fais beaucoup moins de bugs et beaucoup plus de juste servir mon maître. Dans mon lore, je suis littéralement... Je suis littéralement juste un employé. Et ça a l'air à quoi le bouffon du bouffon? Alrighty, so this here, anybody who hasn't seen, Akagi Erebus. Celui-ci, la prononciation, ça va être aussi un petit difficile, essayer de traduire. Donc, s'il vous plaît, patientez-moi. Ce serait quoi? Akagi Erebus? Ouais, c'est pas nécessairement un nom francophone. Ouais, Akagi Erebus. Erebus. It sounds funny trying to translate names because I pronounce everything. Well, it's like meant in English or Japanese beforehand. That's an interesting thing I need to figure out. Ça fait de bonnes pratiques, essayer de le traduire maintenant, puisque un jour je vais traduire moi-même, donc j'ai besoin de le figurer. Ben oui, actually, celui-ci c'est un peu comme. J'ai réagi comme ça me fait penser à mon Ebutoro en gros. Ok. Ouais, le nom du. C'est un dieu grec. So this is like a civilian outfit, sort of a thing. Et puis il y a un autre. Celui-ci, c'est un peu comme son uniforme. Il fait des livraisons. Il habite dans une petite ville dans le milieu de nulle part. Et puis celui-ci, c'est quand il n'y a pas au travail. Et les yeux normalement sont pas dorés. There we go. His eyes are gold or silver, depending. Ah oui, tu aimes les uniformes, tu l'as dit. Ouais, je suis juste un peu intéressé. Les vêtements, choses de ce genre. Mais c'est drôle parce que moi-même, en réalité, je porte toujours juste comme un t-shirt. Alrighty, and then we have Rin Tengoku. Comment ça se dit en français? Tengoku? Rin Tengoku? Ouais, celui-ci, c'est le prochain. Puis aussi, il faut que je mentionne, ce sont pas nécessairement terminés, donc le dessin a l'air un peu étrange, mais j'en ai sur papier, j'ai besoin de le transférer sur mon iPad. Mais oui. Rin Tengoku, elle est... un peu le nom, désolé. Non, ça va, ça veut dire... Oh mon dieu. Ça veut dire... Pas l'enfer, l'opposé de l'enfer. Je viens d'oublier le mot. Merci, merci. Ouais, comme le paradis. Ça veut dire un peu comme les anges, le paradis, Tengoku. Elle travaille sur un... Ouais, l'Éden, on m'a dit. Ouais, c'est quelque chose de ce genre. Mais elle a du rouge et du blanc comme un uniforme de... Pas nécessairement prêtre, mais... Plutôt comme un religieux Shinto. Elle travaille avec des esprits, on va dire ça, c'est le plus simple. So this is Rin Tengoku, who's a shrine maiden. Something of that style, she has like the red and the white. Like bits in blue. I think the hairstyle's a little bit interesting. Yeah, last Shinto shrine maiden of a shrine. Something like that. And then we move on to Shiro. Moi qui réfléchis encore à quel uniforme a donné l'arbitre du méchant de l'histoire de mon perso. J'adore le détail du vêtement. Merci, je l'apprécie. Je suis nul en vêtements. Non, c'est littéralement, je regarde sur Google, puis je fais taper quelque chose, je fais un peu de recherche, puis là, je fais des dessins du n'importe quoi. Et j'ai juste des listes et les listes et les listes de différents vêtements. Je regarde littéralement d'autres jeux vidéo, d'autres animés, et puis je fais, oh, j'aime celui-ci, j'aime celui-là, et je prends juste un petit peu de partout. I feel like but it's funny because the clothing is often all over the place. Like this guy, he's essentially just like a generic villager, right? Shiro Nakamura? Je fais quasiment toujours le même vêtement, personne. Ben, tu peux, dépendamment de l'histoire, ça va. Celui-ci est littéralement juste quelqu'un normal. Pas de pouvoir, pas de magique, pas du n'importe quoi. Il est juste un homme. This is essentially just like a generic guy's Not magical, not strong, anything else, but he is one of the people there with them as well. Aya Nakamura. Ouais, c'est juste un nom très commun au Japon. Non, je vais... Ah, tu connais? Non, j'ai besoin de faire la recherche. C'est quelqu'un, j'imagine, populaire, si tu as une expression comme ça. Aya Nakamura. Who is that? Oh! Fait de la musique. Interesting. Aya Nakamura, 1985, is a French and Malian singer-songwriter. Okay, no, that's the first time hearing of him. I need to look this up. Interesting. Okay, that's why there was such a strong response before. No, it's just a very common name in Japanese. Intéressant. Non, j'ai pas déjà entendu. Ça fait quelqu'un de nouveau de faire de la recherche plus tard. Un chanteur français. Okay. So she was interesting. So she was doing the opening to J.O. in Paris. Huh. I'll have to look her out later. Oh, c'est cool ça. Je connaissais pas. Right, okay. So move on from this guy. Those are like the three main ones there. I have like other little sketches. Ooh, right, this one. This I can talk about too because it comes up later. It's not anything complicated, but this is a cat. Oui, un chat. T'es excité, toi. But yeah, we have a little cat here. Lord. Barry Gilgaby Libmesh. Le nom en français, ça va me donner du trouble, même en anglais, c'est difficile à prononcer. Barry Gilgaby Libmesh. Bless you. Yeah, thank you. Oh god. I mushed a bunch of names together, so there's no way I'm translating that properly. Ça fait tellement différents noms que j'ai juste essayé de couper puis rattacher un à l'autre. C'est impossible à traduire. Yeah, I mean, I could have gone further with the name. Maybe I could have made the name a little bit longer if I felt like it, right? It's based on like a kaishi from Celtic folklore, that sort of a thing. And then we also have... Like, I was thinking firepower is just sort of like a... like bakaneko sort of thing from Japanese folklore. Il y avait pas un nom plus grand? Ben, tu blagues. Techniquement, j'avais un auparavant, puis c'était double. The bell doesn't hold the tail back or anything else? You'd be surprised. Non. C'est pas aussi lourd que ça, puis quand même, c'est un chat magique. Il utilise la magie pour le soutenir. C'est basé sur le chat des histoires japonais, puis aussi irlandais. Le noir puis le blanc. Does it make noise? I imagine it's pretty quiet, like he's just sneaking around. If he's magical, he's like a sneaky little cat, he can move in the shadows, that sort of thing. Il fait cling cling, son grelot. J'imagine ça fait pas du bruit du tout. Il est un peu secret. Il peut traverser dans l'ombre, puis... J'imagine qu'il ne voulait pas faire du bruit, c'est juste pour regarder un petit cute. C'est pas son choix, c'est son maître, qui est Rin, qui le met par-dessus. Yeah, bell that doesn't make noise, it's okay. It was his owner who put the bell on him, because she wanted him to look cute. It's okay, so we can walk around and be secretive and go through shadows and all that sort of thing. Un grelot de contrefaçon qui fait pas de bruit. Oh non, tu vas pleurer maintenant. I'm trying to think, do I have anybody else? I mean, I have... I'm trying to think if I have anybody else I can show you guys that'd be interesting. Ok, j'ai peut-être... Un autre, celui-ci, c'est comme une dame mi-champignon. So this is like a mushroom lady sort of a thing. I had something like that, same thing. Another spirit. Un autre esprit, même maître. Celui-là, j'ai beaucoup dessiné, mais j'ai aucun dessin sur mon iPad, sont tous sur, sont tous dans mes cahiers d'esquisse. I don't have much else on my iPad, like everything else I keep on my sketchbooks, that sort of thing, which is unfortunate, but yeah, those are some easy ones. Maybe I have another, peut-être un autre. Je pourrais peut-être trouver un ou deux autres. Je me souviens d'avoir quelques autres ici sur mon iPad. J'ai pas grand chose, mais j'ai besoin de les commencer encore. I had something like this too, which is like not finished, but it was much more of like an armor piece, or like that's a head of them. Dragon, techniquement celui-là c'est un peu plus chauve-souris. J'ai pas terminé, donc j'ai besoin de mettre les oreilles beaucoup plus grands, mais j'ai de vieux esquisses, choses de ce genre. Celui-ci, c'est un peu plus apparent. Yeah, technically it's like a bat-themed character there. I need to make the ears way bigger. Non, non, ça va. C'est les oreilles. J'ai besoin de beaucoup changer les oreilles. There we go. I mean, it's a little bit over-detailed, I think, but sometimes the design can be a little bit complicated. Now, let's get back to this. Mais le détail, je suis jaloux. J'avais un personne avec trop de détails, mais j'ai un peu abandonné. Ben, ça dépend, puisque des personnes, ça va être très intéressant avec beaucoup de détails, mais t'as besoin de pas trop mettre, ou si tu le mets avec une couleur similaire ou quelque chose pour que ça se distrait pas des autres détails. Et j'espère que tu reviens encore à le travailler. Ça va si tu l'abandonnes pour un petit peu, mais le détail, ça fait améliorer, je crois. D'autres personnes aiment pas trop faire de détails, mais je crois que si tu mets juste un petit peu de détails tout partout, ça l'améliore. Donc, s'il vous plaît, abandonne jamais. Okay, go back to this, I was gonna say. Speaking of detailed stuff, right? I'm also a little bit of a weirdo because I put too much detail on everything, but sometimes you gotta. Other people say not to. Yeah, speaking of over-detailed things. Il y avait 3 paires d'oreilles différentes avec des yeux dedans, un cœur super long, un cœur avec plein de nuls dedans, super long. Enfin, je me souviens de ça en gros, et ses cheveux étaient super longs. Intéressant. Ben, techniquement, ça peut fonctionner. Ça dépend aussi, puisque c'est quelqu'un, tu veux que ça ait l'air comme quelqu'un épeurant ou quelqu'un de très cool, très ancien. Ça fonctionne. Comme si tu fais quelqu'un avec des cheveux très longs, puis comme un grand uniforme ou des vêtements qui sont très compliqués, ça a l'air comme si c'est quelqu'un très sage, très intellectuel. Donc ça peut fonctionner. Detail designs usually, it depends on what you want to do, but you can usually make people more mature with them. It was a type of like calamity that was spreading a plague through his path. Interesting. But I feel like, yeah, that definitely works. Ça fonctionne. J'imagine si c'est un genre de calamité, quelque chose de puissant comme ça fonctionne. Ouais, si c'est comme gros, puissant, épeurant, ça fonctionne si t'as beaucoup de détails. Okay, I need to focus. And finish this. So hair. Continue like this. Actually, I might need to just make sure that the stream hasn't collapsed yet. I should double check. It's been a minute. No, don't apologize. It's okay. Ne t'en fais pas, ça va. Si je voulais pas parler, je ne ferais pas une vidéo, je serais pas ici. Mais toi aussi, t'as un exposé à travailler. Okay, so I'm gonna finish the hair. We're gonna keep going like so. I have little like bits and pieces of hair like this that are probably stringing out. Maybe I can make this line a little bit thicker. We're just gonna keep working like that. Down, down, down. Mais ton exposé est explosé au sol. Mais non. Tu peux continuer. Right, it's never too late to continue doing stuff. You just gotta put your mind to it and you can keep working on it. I need to always remind myself to keep working, but that's okay. Interesting, you're doing a paper on like nature and a political movement. C'est sur la conception de nature et les écoféministes. Intéressant. Je fais pas beaucoup de choses nécessairement au sujet de la politique ou de la nature. Je suis plutôt quelqu'un qui suit le sujet un peu plus sombre, mais c'est intéressant ça. Normally, j'ai fait des présentations souvent sur des sujets genre médicaux plutôt. Mais c'est encore intéressant. Philosophie, oh, ok, je comprends. J'étais jamais vraiment dans la philosophie, c'était un peu... Je dirais, peut-être, pas nécessairement compliqué, mais je suis juste pas quelqu'un généralement qui est philosophique. Not really a philosophy person, really. Or, like, big on politics. I do some, like, news here and there, but much more of, like, a darker theme sort of person. Right? Il y a la philosophie dans ton pays? Ben oui, quand même, mais... Je suis pas nécessairement quelqu'un qui en discute ou pense de la philosophie souvent. I was gonna say, even if there is like philosophy and politics everywhere, I find I'm not really somebody that engages with much of it. Enfin, vraie question, un de nos cours parle de cette idée de philosophie comparée, de savoir s'il y a la philosophie dans le monde entier. Huh. Also, one second, let me just make sure that everything is still fine. Yep. C'est un concept intéressant, ça. Right. interesting, like comparing different philosophies between countries and that sort of a thing. Fascinating. Okay. Sorry, I was just making sure we're back now. Ok, ça fonctionne encore maintenant. Voilà. Un cours parle de cette idée de la philosophie comparée, de savoir s'il y a de la philosophie dans le monde entier. Intéressant. J'imagine il y a probablement beaucoup de différences. Right, there's probably lots of different types of philosophy. I haven't looked into it, but I imagine tons of different places have all sorts of different theories and stuff that they look at. Okay, there we go. Just keep going with the hair. I feel like I need to continue with the face. I spent too much time on the hair and the rest of the body, like we did the ribcage and stuff, so I think maybe we're going to do a little bit of work on the face. Maybe some like eyes and hair. I want to finish that today. Le problème avec mon exposé sur la nature, c'est que le prof nous descend après chaque exposé et il nous mitraille en disant que du négatif, il fait que des remarques. Ouais, c'est dommage. Ouais, genre cassant. C'est vraiment dommage, parce que je connais des personnes qui sont très passionnées avec, mais ils ont complètement été abattus par des personnes qui juste voulaient vraiment pas parler d'autre qu'un type de philosophie. Donc si c'est désolé, si c'est quelque chose qui t'intéresse, j'imagine que tu fais de la recherche dans ton temps propre. J'ai plein de professeurs comme ça, puis s'ils vont être misérables, il faut que je l'ignorer. There's also, yeah, another thing about teachers and that sort of thing. If people are miserable all the time, especially when it comes to like philosophy or like old ways, it gets very, very difficult, I'd say, to continue that. Like I had one teacher for a writing course, actually. I made it absolutely miserable the entire time, and I loved writing. Loved writing beforehand. It was something like always enjoyed doing. And by the end of that course, I think everybody in that class never wanted to touch a piece of paper again. Like, it's so funny how just having like one bad experience can do to your interest in the subject. Okay, so we'll just continue the eyes. God damn it, I feel like I'm racing too much. Let me fix that. Da-da-da-da-da. Perfect. We'll just keep going there. I'll erase this little bit. And go with the hair like so. Perfect. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on in. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, thank you. Happy to have you along. Sorry, I just need to tab over for some reason OBS and my stream like make it difficult for me to check things. Tredycon, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Sorry I didn't see your name for a second. My stream likes to be difficult all the time. But glad to have you along. We're just here doing some fan art today. Happy to have you. Same thing, if you have any recommendations for anime or things you want me to check out, let me know. What are you making? I'm currently doing some fan art of two VTubers, Miss Lena Lazar. Let me pull up the images, actually, it'll make this easier. So Lena Lazar, who is a horror VTuber. And then we also have Miss Monarch. Let me pull her up, Amelie. If you haven't heard of her as well, she makes music. So I decided, they're both VTubers, we're doing some fan art of them today with some outfits that I had designed. There we go, and that's Monarch there. But she also has a male version, which I'm doing instead. So male Monarch and Lena Lazar. Which could be my waifu. Bonk. Go to horny jail. And also hello from our French viewer too. Vraiment ton chat quand il ouvre la bouche me fait rire doucement. J'aime trop ton chat. C'est drôle puisque c'est un qui vient juste avec la pluie. J'ai rien de fait, c'est automatique. Je vais essayer de créer mon propre. I don't speak French, sadly. Dutch? Oh, that's interesting. I had family that did like bits and pieces of German growing up, so I have like some, but really not all that much. Waifu, ouais, l'autre gars qui vient d'apparaître m'a dit qu'il est intéressé dans le deux que je viens de dessiner. But yeah, I'm happy to go back and forth in English and French, depending on who's there. I always love learning new languages too. Like I have bits and pieces of Italian to some extent that I can do as well. Okay. Random Artistic, thank you so much, I appreciate it. Funny thing enough, it's just a preset in VTube Studio. His name is Grim. Sorry, I should probably introduce myself to the new ones. The name's Sheshire, the Devil's Not So Funny Jester. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. I'm currently talking you through the body of my cat Grim. Made a deal with the devil and I'm stuck in hell, so my cat on the human world is talking to you all. You have one too? Yours is Johnny? Aww. I love cats. I'm a big cat person. I think when I make a new one... Actually, you know what we're gonna do? Pause. On va faire une petite pause, puis je vais montrer quelque chose d'autre. I'm gonna do a little design, actually, that I had for the cat. One day we're gonna work on our own VTuber model, and I'm going to make a design for it. I had it here. Where'd it go? I love every kitty. I'm a big Maine Coon person, or like very fluffy cats. I love winter dogs too. I love cold weather. Here we go. This is what Grim is supposed to see. So something like that. Actually, you know what? I have a little... So beautiful, thanks so much. Yeah. So that was probably what I'm going to plan on doing. As a practice one day, maybe we can make a model. Un journée peut-être, on va essayer de créer un model VTuber nous-mêmes, et puis ça va l'air quelque chose comme ça. So yeah, this is a design, something that I did too. I have an animation of it that shows just a little bit. Here's a stinger. Right, and then if I come back, there we go. So you can kind of see the Grim when I do the stinger. Alrighty, let me go back to the other page there. We should have English courses in chat. Mr. Sheshire will teach us some unique language. Yeah, honestly, you know what, funnily enough, one day, I did actually write that down. I want to plan on making videos, at least, in like different languages or having different guests on, and then we can write down like pages and worksheets to have chat learn languages with us. That'd be fun, because I always love languages. Ça serait intéressant d'avoir d'autres personnes, spécialement qui parlent français ou même l'italien, puis on crée de petits livrets qui fait enseigner aux autres personnes comment les parler. Ou même en anglais aussi, même chose. That would be actually fun. It's something I've wanted for a while. Learning through only playing games. Actually, yeah, I did a similar thing with anime where I learned hiragana and katakana in Japanese for like a couple months over the summer. I need to keep back at doing that. Not your first language. Interesting. Ver. Why? It's okay, yeah. Ebutoro said something similar. In French, the pronunciation is the same for the words, but we have that same thing in English, like there, all the different types, or like a seal. Yeah, actually, you know what? Teach English and I teach Portuguese. That'd be interesting. Like, if I can, I love learning languages. So if I can get like one day where if I find another streamer that stuff does like that, or we can create like a little notebook and follow along with the chat. Contain yourself, sir. Ben ouais, c'est pareil en anglais aussi. On a des groupes de mots qui sont prononcés identiquement, mais différents quand on les écrit. Mais même des personnes qui parlent anglais connaissent pas la différence. Like, it's funny in French, even people who speak it similarly to English, like if you have the there, as in, let me write them down. Like the there, and there. We're gonna have a little grammar lesson. There. There. And there. The funny thing is people in English still don't know the difference between these three. Like, you'd be surprised at the amount of articles I've read or things that are academic where people swap them out is honestly pathetic. Oh god, also you two contain yourselves, I'm gonna bonk you. You're gonna go to horny jail. Thank you so much for the follow. Welcome on in, welcome. Let me just pull them up. Reload this. Random artistic, thank you. I assumed so, but I just wasn't sure. You never know. Happy to have you along. Ben ouais, c'est drôle, les personnes en anglais, ils confusent ces trois tout le temps, puis ce sont des personnes dont je connais sont anglophones. Why? You'd be surprised. Well. Why as in I'm gonna bonk you too, or why as in this? I'm gonna bonk you too for going to horny jail, but this is because people are just stupid. People don't understand grammar, which is fine. I never understood French grammar half the time. Everybody in my French class was failing, even though we went to a full French school. No, I'm kidding. I'm not actually gonna bonk you too. There was another viewer who was maybe a little bit more freaky, and I was debating bonking him way back in the day, but I'm kidding. I'm just joking, I'm not easily offended. Jail is not... Oh mon dieu. Please do you bring the jar, let me have some partner with me. Apparemment, j'ai quelqu'un ici qui vient de la prison. Peut-être c'est une blague. I mean, the funny thing is, I wouldn't know about jail, because I don't get caught. Allegedly. I can't wink, I need to learn to wink with this. Okay, I'm gonna continue with this. Let me get back to it. Your art is so amazing, but thank you so much. I appreciate it. I spent a little bit doing like rough sketches here and there stuff where I just didn't really have time, but I finally was like, you know what, we're gonna set some down, I'm gonna zoom in. I was making really small canvases and it was making the art pixelated, so it was like, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna make the canvas bigger, we're gonna finally work on it. Like for example, let me find something more recent. Like I have some other stuff. Voici des autres exemples de dessins que j'ai fait plus récemment. Like there's this one here. I mean, it's okay. I think the proportions are more interesting. But I feel like I just didn't like the composition on it. So I was working on something much bigger, and I figure we're gonna take our time with this one. Like this one I did of Monarch beforehand. This is also Monarch, that's a little bit older. On m'a perdu, j'ai écrit trop vite. Non, non, ça va, je fais juste montrer les autres dessins que j'ai fait. Souvent je fais des petits ici puis là, mais... And that's like a really ancient one, but yeah, so I figure with this one we're gonna take our time and zoom in, make the canvas massive, and then just do lots of little bit of detail. So if it takes a week, 2 weeks, then so be it. C'est juste pour dire que celui-ci, je vais prendre mon temps, puis je vais le travailler par-dessus. C'est un gros canvas avec beaucoup d'espace, donc... You're also good with Blender, Sesh? Thank you. Okay. So let's continue with this hair stuff here. I feel like I need to finish this up. Oh god, yeah. Although, funnily enough, apparently hospital food tastes worse than prison food, which I have been told by somebody who's been to both. Quelqu'un que je connais m'a dit apparemment la nourriture d'un hôpital c'est pire que celui du prison. But then I'm like, oh, hopefully you're alright. Okay. Something like that. Maybe, you know, I could probably add some more shape to this. Well, hopefully your visit to the hospital at least goes okay, sort of. Elle me dit, c'est pas bon à l'hôpital, non, surtout quand ils te font tes soins juste avant de manger, avant midi. Ouais. Oh. Yeah, c'est horrible. Puis si tu es en train de te récupérer de la chirurgie, il va y avoir plein de personnes qui sont en train de se crier. Ben, sont en train de crier à mort à tout temps de la journée. I have renal congestion and pause, which is nasal, so I speak through my mouth, and it's kind of annoying. It makes me uncomfortable to communicate with others outside of the... Oh, sorry to hear that. Well, hopefully, like, your procedure and everything else goes well, and you get over it, but... But I knew somebody who had polyps as well, and it went fine. So you have nothing to worry about. Been in trauma with this up. Oh god. Well, I can only hope it ends soon. Well, hopefully at least I'm able to distract you a little bit, right? Or you find other people that can keep you distracted. I feel like that's the best thing, is just keep them busy, right? The second you're not busy anymore, that's when you get to thinking. At least when I had family who had like heart surgery, the biggest thing was just trying to keep them distracted. Ça devient compliqué en France en ce moment avec les prix, etc., les écoles, le manque de place dans les hôpitaux. Ouais, c'est similaire partout dans le monde, même dans ma pays, c'est pareil. It was like avoiding people so you wouldn't feel disgraced or embarrassed if you felt like you were being laughed. No, you can't think like that. I mean, if anyone's gonna laugh at you, those aren't friends you want in your life, but there's nothing to be ashamed of, ever. Okay, I also feel like I need to make this hair more volume, and yeah, I need to puff it up a little bit. It's just in my brain. Yeah, I mean, it's natural. Everybody has worries and stuff like about it, but you just gotta try not to think about it, right? You got this. Grim believes in you. Et ça commence à être vraiment... Oh, ouais. Le problème, c'est... Souvent, les personnes ne sont pas capables de se parler calmement, même si quelque chose dont... Il y a des différences, choses comme ça. Anciennement, on était capable de faire des discussions, mais... Maintenant, c'est trop... It's just right after surgery, I'll be sleeping like 2 or 3 days in a nasty room with prison food. You know, you just gotta think about the good food, right? That's how you get through it. Or you get some family to bring you something, right? Once you get out, you can have all the good food you want. Try to hold in there, it'll be okay. Oh, really? Sunday, sometimes you get croissants? Interesting. That's actually a fun thing in a hospital. That'd be way too much in America or other places. Gives you like 2 bread with 1 slice of cheese or ham. This won't make you full, though. No, it won't. I mean, even, like, you just gotta see if you can get, like, fruit or other salads, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, it's just not, it's not great. They usually don't have anything. C'est intéressant, ça, le dimanche à l'hôpital, si tu avais de la chance, tu avais le droit à un croissant au petit déjeuner. Où moi j'habite, ça arriverait jamais. Like, I think depending on the place, sometimes they don't even care if family brings in food. I know one time there was like a nurse who was a prick about it and stopped us from taking food in, but we just kind of snuck it, whatever. But other times they're like, go ahead, as long as you don't bring them anything too bad. Depending on the place, right? It depends on the hospital. I've been to hospitals that let it, I've been to hospitals that don't. It really just depends on the place, unfortunately, right? You just gotta hope you're lucky. It's okay. Sometimes I say I got a horseshoe somewhere hidden on me, and I've got plenty of luck, so I'll just give some of it to you, right? We'll pray. Moi, ben, c'est pas drôle, mais c'est intéressant. Avec ma famille, j'avais plein de personnes qui étaient toujours à l'hôpital, mais jamais pour moi. Donc, j'étais presque toujours dans un hôpital, mais moi, je n'avais pas malade. C'était toujours comme quelqu'un qui était un ami ou de la famille, puis je le visitais chaque jour. The smell so spread over in the hallway, people can't stand the food and they're curious about what you've been ordering. I mean... Yes and no. I mean, it just depends, right? Either you eat it fast or keep it in a container. You gotta get good at, like, the secret hiding technique. On est ensemble, quoi. Presque 2 ans. J'espère que ça va bien maintenant. Oh mon Dieu. No, I've never been in the hospital myself. That's crazy. But grew up basically in the hospital permanently. I always had family and friends that were there, so I spent lots of time visiting. It depends too. Like, it just depends on the place. Sometimes you can get away with, sometimes you can't. Okay, I feel like the hair is a little bit more dynamic now. I feel like usually I make it much more stuffy or stringing, and I feel like the perspective we need to add volume. Then we have this bit here, so I'm going to spin it. I feel like I'm going to give people nausea. If you have epilepsy, I'm so sorry. Spinning the screen is going to knock you out. Ben, je suis un gros handicap à vie, peut-être. Non, même si c'est surtout ma jambe. Ben, j'espère au moins c'est pas trop difficile pour toi. Or keep the food in my pants, I have a secret. Yeah, that's how you do it. T'as un mec qui m'a percuté volontairement puis s'est enfui, c'est ma jambe qui a tout pris. Oh mon dieu, je suis désolé. Maudit espèce de crapaud, il a besoin de se faire renfoncer dans... Well, that's wild. Okay. I'm gonna continue here. Sorry, I need to stop spinning this. I'm gonna give somebody epilepsy. I do that all the time. It's a very bad habit. Sheshire accent. Do you like work in an airplane? I mean, you would fit as an assistant support people in it with your accent. No, see, funny thing is, I don't even think I have an accent, but it, you know, it's because I grew up where I grew up. But no, I don't work in an airport. Or even on an airplane, anything like that. I worked in customer service for a while. Like, I spent a lot of my childhood. I started working at like 12 at a store. And so I think I have that natural timbre. And I speak a couple languages, but I feel like I don't really have a strong accent. Interesting. That's kind of like the first time I've heard that. Would you not prefer not working in an airplane? I mean, it would be interesting. I feel like I can't really do flights. I'm paranoid. I hate travel because I'm always scared of what's going to go wrong. Like, anytime I go somewhere, I traveled maybe once or twice in my life, and I was like panicking the entire time. It would not work well. Heights? Actually, not really. Just, I'm afraid of stuff breaking or stuff not working, and I think that I'd be unlucky. Non, non, il me demande si je travaille dans un aéroport ou quelque chose quelconque au sujet de mon accent. That would be cool. Free travel would definitely be interesting, but I'm just not somebody who travels a bunch or would do well traveling. But hey, good for you. Je me suis pas présenté et puis je suis pessimiste et j'écris des trucs pas du tout le temps joyeux Raymond. Oh boy. C'est un fou monde. You have to travel like 3 hours a day. I mean, the travel wouldn't necessarily be too crazy. I'm okay with traveling in general. It's just like planes specifically, and boats. I hate boats. I hate boats with a passion. I do not trust boats. I trust planes more than I trust boats. Je déplombe le moral, je suis désolé. Non, 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 ça va. Bien, pour un petit peu de temps, je travaillais à devenir thérapeute, donc j'ai beaucoup de pratique, écouter au monde. Non, je me fais jamais déprimer. Non, non, pas du tout. Do people in airports get paid a lot? Do you have, I mean, it depends on the position. I don't think it's anything crazy. Like, a TSA agent would be something comparable to, like, your average salary. And do you get motion sickness when you travel by boat? No, it's because growing up I had like a crazy relative who drove the boats like a maniac and we just about crashed. Like I'd rather, even if we're in the ocean, I can swim fine, I can swim great, I've always done swimming lessons, that's okay, but just being in a boat, I had like a crazy relative who would drive like a maniac. Au thérapeute? Ouais, je travaille, je dirais, le domaine du cerveau, choses de ce genre. Mais oui, j'ai beaucoup de pratiques à écouter au monde. Ça serait intéressant, si j'ai devenu thérapeute, je créerais comme un petit clinique qui a des animaux. Ça serait intéressant à voir comme un chien ou chat thérapie. But yeah, it was the thing. For a while I wanted to work in therapy, and like sometimes I debated it, but that would be an interesting thing, having like animal therapies. That was one big thing I wanted to do, was have like a dog or a cat therapy. I don't even know if that's a thing. I think some places offer it, but it's much more rare. Always like when boats speed up and sometimes drive from the side. I'm afraid that we fall off the side, that sharks are waiting for their meal. See, I'm not actually afraid of sharks or anything like that. I mean, for the most part, they don't attack. I'm actually more afraid of the boat than I am of the shark. Mon cerveau a tout cassé? Non, non. T'as un intéressant cerveau, moi aussi. Wait, the thing is with sharks, I've never seen Jaws though, because I'm like a scaredy cat and I don't watch horror movies, but I imagine people who've seen Jaws are probably much more scared. What's that? Moi, je parle de choses très horribles, mais de manière si naturellement, voire trop naturelle, comme si c'était normal que j'en soucie. Ok, moi, tu penses que moi, je suis pas comme ça, mais en réalité, moi, je suis comme ça. J'ai vécu tellement, pas nécessairement similaire à vous, mais j'ai aussi beaucoup d'expérience de sujets peut-être très très sombres, donc je parle souvent de sujets qui sont horribles à d'autres personnes sans même clignoter l'œil. What was the most terrifying thing you ever caught off guard without expecting you? Never ever join an event or travel something by boat, train? Let me read that again, sorry, I just had a stroke. What was the most terrifying thing you ever like caught off guard without expecting? I mean, let's see. I never would ever join an event to travel something by boat. I mean, I would. I would be hesitant. Like, I have traveled by boat before, I just don't enjoy it. I've never actually been on a train before. I'd be interested in trying that too. I feel like the biggest event something that caught me off guard. I mean, I've seen some terrifying crap before in my life, but I think I had one where I had a family member. I used to be terrified of snakes, right? And one day I was like walking outside the door, and they had this like massive snake in their hand, and they threw it at me. And I screamed. I had like a heart attack. I was like a little kid, and they like had the snake, and they shoved it in my face and threw it at me as I was walking outside the door, and they knew I was horrified of them. And like I absolutely lost it. I had to like run back inside, and they sat there for an hour. I pushed everything away from me. Like anything that touched me, I would freak out. I just had like sat there for a while. That was funny. I'm not afraid of snakes anymore, but I was very, very badly when I was a kid. So you never encounter some dangerous stuff? I mean, I have. Stuff that I can't talk about on stream, of course. I've lived many lives. Really? I mean, I used to be terrified of snakes and spiders. I've gotten over that too. Bees I actually love drawing. They're one of my favorite animals. Why bees? Actually, I was stung by probably like 60 bees but one time when I was very, very young, but I turned out okay. Ah, je me fais demander si j'ai jamais vécu quelque chose d'épeurant et ça me fait souvenir de ma jeunesse quand j'avais très, très peur d'araignées, puis aussi des serpents, puis j'avais quelqu'un de ma famille qui fait lancer un serpent dans ma direction, puis j'ai presque eu un crise cardiaque. If I see bees, I run like a 50 marathon a day to shake them off my shoulders. Really? Interesting. Like I was even bees and wasps. Interesting. I've always loved drawing them. I was never really afraid of them, but I grew up in the middle of nowhere, like farm country, where we had always like bee farms around, so it was kind of normal for me. Ton message ne fait pas envoyer. Oh, peut-être il y a un mot, quelque chose. Intéressant. I really get traumatized with bees. I'm not even joking. Interesting. I mean, I had a friend of mine who was terrified of ladybugs, so I mean, I've seen it all. Puis ouais, j'avais peur des serpents quand j'étais un enfant, mais maintenant, beaucoup moins. J'ai commencé à le dessiner, puis ça a beaucoup m'aidé. Interesting. I don't even know how you, like... You got a snake. Oh dear God. I would. J'avais un long serpent enfant vers 10 ans, c'est parti. Oh mon Dieu. C'est fou ça. I was like busy during the game, bro, and a 7-foot tall spider was lying down around my legs without me realizing it, and then my heart almost failed. Yeah. You know what? Funny thing was for me back when I was terrified of spiders. I feel like it was family too, because I had a lot of family that was just absolutely horrified of them. But I used to be like tortured all the time by friends of mine because they would like look up photos of spiders and they would leave them lying around. Like if I walked away from a computer or something and I went to go grab something else or like go to the washroom, they would look up spiders. When I came back, I would like freak out. You're afraid of venom? I mean, that's, yeah. C'est un peu une contradiction, ça. Moi, j'adore Absol. That's funny, on the subject of Pokemon, I absolutely love Absol. I mean, it's just like the little white, snowy thing, but I find him cute. You love Ash, Pokemon movie. Yeah. Fair. See, at least for me, I was never in a country that had venomous snakes or spiders, so it wasn't really a concern. Without Ash, Pokemon became kind of meh. See, I was never into Pokemon. I read the encyclopedias growing up, but I never actually played the games, so I never had all that much experience. I never even saw the show. Although some of the Pokemon in that movie are absolutely horrific. Oh, vraiment, Ash, c'est Sasha? Je connaissais jamais ça, j'ai pas vu, donc... Oh, God. Interesting, I always forget that also shows have different names for their characters across the world too, like even in Japanese they had a different name. Same thing with French and everything else. Non, il parle du poison. Comme lorsqu'on se fait mordre par un serpent ou un araignée s'ils sont venomeux ou poisonneux. Ben, techniquement pas poisonneux, mais... Ouais, le venin. Do I watch isekai? I mean, I think, I'm a big, on the topic of anime and that sort of thing, I love fantasy, I love magic, all that sort of thing, adventures, and like really, really dark stuff. Like I love Fate, Bleach. I've seen maybe 1 or 2 isekai in my life. I'm trying to think, like Overlord. I think, yeah, Overlord I loved. That was really, really fun. What else? And I think Devil's a Part-Timer, which I also really enjoyed. Is One Piece? No, that's not an isekai. What? And what is... And there's no way One Piece is an isekai. Demon Lord Retry? I should watch it? Okay, I've seen One Piece. Ouais, Venom. Non, ouais, je connaissais que tu pensais de ce Venom. Non, ça va. Ne t'en fais pas. You should watch it. Interesting. I've heard of Demon... No, One Piece isn't. I've seen One Piece. At least the first couple hundred episodes. Like, I think 200 and something. I haven't had time to do the rest of it, but yeah, it was alright. I loved, I think, Nami, Robin, Chopper, and Zoro. J'ai seulement regardé quelques centaines d'épisodes. J'ai arrêté avant Brooke. I think, yeah, I didn't even get to the Brooks part, though. I know the characters and all that sort of thing, but I just haven't... I've not seen it. Oh my god. You should be replaced with me. Oh dear god. That would be interesting. I don't know if necessarily I would want to be reborn in any of those shows. Also, sorry, I just got a message. Let me pop over that. Désolé, je viens juste... Faut que je fais quelque chose très vite. Ça. There we go. Sorry, somebody sent me a message and I didn't notice it till just now. Otoko, Okiku, Yamato, Katakuri, Dellinger, Okay. Why? Yeah. Chopper, j'adore Chopper, moi aussi. I do love to watch dubs, English subs, no. Really? I mean, I know, I hear that too, but I don't know what it is, I just can't watch subs. I'm the same, like I have to watch it in English and I can't, I feel bad. Like the only show I've probably ever seen in Japanese was Devil's a Part-Timer because there isn't an English version. J'ai besoin de regarder plus aux émissions en français. Je regarde toujours en anglais, mais j'ai besoin de me pratiquer. C'est probablement la meilleure manière, juste commencer à regarder des émissions en français. That's actually, it is a very big scene too. I forget, like in France and those regions, they have a lot of manga and anime too. It's very big there. Yeah. You know, no, that's fair. I agree. But missing out action while reading the subtitles goes too fast for non-Native Americans. That's fair. Right. I mean, it depends on the show too. Some shows have really, really good voice acting in English. I know a lot of people don't like it, but it depends. Some of them do it really, really well. Right, no, that's fair. T'as trop d'aussi One Piece? Oh, on se parle en anglais de les sous-titres ou non, puis j'imagine aussi ça peut être un peu difficile de lire et d'arrêter quelques instants pour répéter à chaque fois. Oh wow, vraiment, t'as comme un... Tu vois le futur. I don't like pausing video. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm the same way, right? I grew up, even before that, being like a big fan of Marvel and DC and watching shows like that, so I like watched a lot of English media. But for the most part, it seemed too different to me. Alrighty, also, sorry, I might stop there. Let me know. There we go, let me fix this again. Okay, ça fonctionne maintenant. Also, I don't know necessarily how much longer, but I might have to step out soon. So we'll keep going. I want to finish like the face and the hair, and that might be it. I have to grab some water first. Ok. Je connais pas trop long. Désolé, je connais pas trop long. Je vais continuer, mais j'ai peut-être quelque chose que j'ai besoin de faire. Sorry, I just have to add some water. Gotta make sure you guys don't hear me give you free ASMR. I had to mute myself. It's okay, I still have a couple minutes at least and some time. I'm just trying to see, but I might have something to get to. J'ai créé genre le mink. Avant le mink, j'avais des gamins qui étaient des cobayes du gouvernement. Oh, vraiment? Il y a eu le séraphin. J'avais un personne qui avait le pouvoir du kitsune. Oh, wow! T'as vraiment vu le futur? C'est intéressant. Interesting. I always find it funny also too when people predict things in shows. Like One Piece has been going on for so long, like the amount of catching up I've had to do would be interesting. Like I've thought about that. Although it's funny because there's been tons of shows that I could probably recommend to people and they seem like massive undertakings. Like I'm a huge Fate fan. I've seen Fate Zero, Fate Stay Night, Fate Apocrypha, Fate Extra Encore, and that's probably quite a lot. In less than a month? Wow. I feel like, yeah, I just need to set aside like a day or something then and work on it. A couple days here and there. À chaque fois que je vois le truc, j'étais mort de rire. T'as besoin de commencer à acheter des billets de loterie. You skipped all the filler. Okay, well that makes sense. I don't know, is it a lot of filler? Because I'm weird, I tend to enjoy filler. Okay, I mean it makes sense if it's been going on for a while. Some filler has nothing to do with One Piece? Interesting. I mean, like, Bleach, I know they have really, really good filler. The Bount arc was some of my favorites, but depends on the show, too. Tu peux me dire pile ou face et j'ai toujours le contrat? Vraiment? Ben, t'as besoin d'utiliser tes pouvoirs de magie, de regarder dans le futur. Even Dragon Ball Z joined party, Luffy? Huh. Yeah, I was not expecting that. Interesting. I don't know if I would skip anything. Like, I don't think I've ever skipped any filler before. But I mean, if it got really, really bad, then I can imagine. like 15-minute filler, 45-minute. Wow. I mean, is it just boring? T'as un prof à maths qui se moquait de moi en disant qu'il n'avait jamais vu plus malchanceux comme... Okay, wow, c'est presque impressionnant. Yeah, okay. I mean, that is true. I'm not really a slice of life person. I'm much more of like an adventure, sort of action-y. So it depends. I guess if I do watch it, I might end up skipping some of it too. Okay, well. Thinking, let me just add one more mark on the eye, and this might be where we call it for today. I'm thinking, on a eu un peu de progrès, mais je crois peut-être on arrête ici pour aujourd'hui. J'ai quelque chose dont j'ai besoin de préparer. I wanted to see action where Luffy gets the girl back, or when Shinigami got kidnapped or beat up, need the Luffy power. Oh, okay, so you're in it for like the classic shonen stuff. Dans la famille, il y a toujours des trucs qui n'arrivent jamais. Exemple, les tribunaux ont perdu mon dossier. Mon avocat n'a jamais vu 120 de carrière. T'as besoin d'un film, t'as besoin de créer un film au sujet de ta vie, t'as besoin de parler à quelqu'un. Oh my god, oh, okay. Well, fortunately I gotta go, but thank you so much everybody for coming by, I appreciate it all. Let me see if I can find somebody to raid. Ça a coupé au sujet de quoi? J'ai quelque chose dont j'ai besoin d'y aller dans quelques minutes, donc je crois que je vais essayer de trouver quelqu'un à vous envoyer. Mais merci beaucoup d'avoir venu, je vous apprécie énormément. That's okay, let me see who's live. So yeah, I'll just continue to raid myself forever. Unfortunately, those on YouTube, I'm not going to be able to raid into anybody because I don't have the right numbers yet, but on Twitch at least I can, and on Kick, unfortunately, no as well. But thank you all at least for coming by. Now let's see who we got. Creator dashboard. Ouais, désolé, je vous quitte. Ouais, tu me manquais aussi. Grim dit au revoir. Thanks for the pep talk. I enjoy the community. You have the chill vibe. Yeah, you take care. You hang in there. We'll be there. Anytime you need it, you come over. We're gonna try and do all sorts of stuff and keep streaming more and more often, so... Come by. Appreciate having you around. Now let's see. Okay. Let's see who we can raid into. Open up my settings. La prochaine fois tu fais miaou? Peut-être. Alrighty. Creator dashboard. Dodo bien? Ouais, vous aussi. Ben, pour moi pas nécessairement dodo, il faut que je prépare. J'ai un gros quelque chose à travailler demain. Okay, stream manager. You think I know what I'm doing, but it always takes me forever to tab over. Okay. Let's see who's live, We have Saku, Sweet Anita, Girl DM, Joel, Lena Lazar. Actually, you know what? You guys want to do something funny? Lena Lazar, who I am drawing, is live now. We could go say hi to her. Let's see if that works. Peut-être on va regarder Lena, elle est là aujourd'hui, on peut essayer de vous envoyer elle. On était en train de dessiner. Okay, let's try. Maybe? Hopefully it all goes well. No, that's not working. Okay, let's get somebody else then. Ça fonctionne pas. Non, ça va pas fonctionner. Okay, let me find somebody else. Never mind. Gika maybe? Or Smugglana. Skew. Okay, maybe we try Joel instead. Porcelain Maid. On va essayer quelqu'un d'autre. Let's go try Joel. He's great. He's just chatting. Alrighty. Thank you everybody for coming by. Merci pour avoir venu. I appreciate you all so much. My name is the Sheshire, the Devil's Not So Funny Jester, and I will see you all later. Moi, je suis Sheshire, le bouffon du diable. Au revoir.